Asymmetric advantage in Haiti: technology, tactics, and the limits of force. Modern military technology can give a small, disciplined force a decisive edge over larger gang coalitions. Night operations, precision fire, dynamic mobility, and real-time intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance are classic force multipliers. Yet turning those tactical tools into lasting strategic success in Haiti runs into structural, legal, and political realities that constrain what the Haitian government and its international partners can actually do. Legal framework: martial law and procurement. Declaring a state of siege or martial law shifts governance from civil authority to military command. Under normal conditions, buying defense hardware requires prolonged oversight, international vetting, and competitive bidding. Martial law lets the executive bypass much of that bureaucracy and make emergency allocations for high-priority equipment. The distinction between police and military is equally important. The Haitian National Police is trained for law enforcement, individual arrests, and defensive perimeter work. Officers typically work 8 to 12-hour shifts and then return to homes that gangs routinely target, exposing them to intimidation. The armed forces of Haiti, by contrast, are structured for sustained 24/7 operations from secure bases. Units rotate through patrol, reserve, and rest cycles without personnel dispersing into civilian neighborhoods during an active campaign. Equipment and doctrine further separate the two. Police prioritize non-lethal control, light armor, and sidearms. Clearing barricaded gang strongholds requires direct-fire weapons, crew-serve systems, anti-fortification munitions, and combat engineering assets that police forces are neither trained nor legally mandated to use. Tactical execution: owning the night. Night vision and thermal optics strike at a core weakness of urban gang networks. Most gang members rely on daylight, local knowledge, and basic radios or smartphones. A practical cycle: targeting, thermal intelligence, operation, looks like this. First, thermal drones conduct grid-square surveillance, mapping barricades, entry routes, and heat signatures. Second, a tactical command center fuses those feeds with encrypted radio communications and directs movement. Third, engineering and assault teams advance. Armored bulldozers clear trenches and container traps, while snipers and night vision-equipped infantry neutralize heavy positions. Fourth, armored ambulances with combat medics extract casualties within the golden hour. Generation 3 night vision goggles, infrared lasers, and thermal weapon sights allow specialized units to maneuver undetected, bypass perimeter lookouts, and strike command nodes before gangs can mobilize. 40mm grenade launchers and mortars provide suppression and indirect fire to flush entrenched fighters from concrete buildings or steel containers without forcing infantry into narrow choke points. Real-time drone feeds to an encrypted command and control node reduce the risk of ambush in dense neighborhoods. Heavy armored bulldozers are essential for clearing the deep trenches, concrete barriers, and welded shipping containers that gangs use to block key roads. Combat medical evacuation under fire sustains both morale and operational tempo. Real-world constraints: the tactical blueprint is sound on paper, yet several hard constraints explain why it has not been fully realized. Force size: the armed forces of Haiti, re-established only in 2017, fields roughly 1,500 to 2,000 active personnel against an estimated 15 to 20,000 armed gang members operating under coalitions such as Vive Ensemble. Even with superior equipment, a force that small cannot simultaneously assault, hold terrain, and protect critical infrastructure across Port-au-Prince and its surroundings. Urban density and collateral risk: neighborhoods such as Cité Soleil and Lower Delmas rank among the densest informal settlements in the Western Hemisphere. Employing grenades, mortars, and heavy armor in tightly packed cinder block housing risks high civilian casualties and widespread destruction. Outcomes gangs quickly convert into propaganda and international condemnation. Foreign aid restrictions: the United States and other partners have supplied armored vehicles, logistics, and funding to the police and United Nations-backed security missions. They remain reluctant, however, to transfer heavy offensive systems. Concerns include the risk of advanced hardware falling into gang hands through corruption or capture, strict human rights requirements for military export licenses, and historical sensitivities about the Haitian military's past role in political coups. What must happen next? Equipment alone is insufficient. Institutional capacity must catch up. First, rapid, carefully vetted expansion of the armed forces to at least 5,000 to 8,000 combat-ready troops. Second, a clear hold-build approach in which specialized military units seize territory at night, trained police units immediately assume the holding mission, and state social services follow to restore basic governance. Third, secure dedicated logistics channels for night vision batteries, encrypted radios, drone components, and munitions that bypass vulnerable civilian ports. Technology can tilt the tactical balance. Without larger numbers, better institutional separation of police and military roles, and political will to accept the costs of urban combat, those advantages remain limited. The path from tactical edge to strategic recovery runs through force expansion, disciplined sequencing of operations, and supply chains that cannot be easily disrupted.